The iPad sits where she left it. Kitchen counter, charging cable snaked across granite like a lifeline. I reach for it to check tomorrow's weather. Simple as that. The notification bubble appears before I can swipe away. Marcus Chen, blue checkmark, the kind that matters in her world. The photo loads without my permission. Hotel bathroom mirror. Her face flushed, lips parted, wearing nothing but his hands around her waist, his face beside hers, chin stubbled, grinning like he owned something precious. I set the iPad down. My hands don't shake, my breath doesn't catch. Something else happens instead. Something colder, sharper. A clarity I haven't felt in years. 8 years of marriage. 8 years of standing by her through 2 miscarriages that shattered her. 8 years of working overtime so she could chase her spoken-word dreams. 8 years of sitting in coffee shops and community centers, watching her pour her heart onto stages while I clapped from folding chairs in the back. I remember the night she got her first real gig, the Arts Council showcase downtown, how she cried against my shoulder afterward, mascara streaking my shirt. "I couldn't have done this without you," she whispered. "You're my foundation." I believed her then. The iPad chirps again. Another message from Marcus. "Can't wait for next weekend." Same sweet? I scroll up through their conversation. Months of messages. Hotels I've never heard of. Dates when she told me she was visiting her sister in Portland. Times when I was home alone, microwaving leftover Chinese while she was... I stop scrolling. I've seen enough. She won't be home for hours. Tuesday night writing group, she called it this morning, kissing my cheek before grabbing her leather messenger bag. "Don't wait up, babe. We're workshopping until late." I wonder what kind of work they're shopping now. I walk through our house, my house really, since I pay the mortgage, and step onto the back deck. The October air cuts through my t-shirt, but I don't go back for a jacket. I sit on the steps, bare feet against cold wood, and stare at the fence line where our yard ends. The neighbors' windows glow yellow in the dusk. Normal people living normal lives, probably. No one taking mirror selfies in hotel rooms. No one documenting their betrayals for later viewing. The anger I expected doesn't come. Neither does the hurt. Instead, there's something surgical in my chest. Clean, focused, precise. I won't yell when she gets home tonight. Won't throw the iPad at her feet. Won't give her the satisfaction of watching me break. She chose this path. She chose him. She chose to capture it in pixels and store it in the cloud like a trophy. But she doesn't get to choose what happens next. A dog barks somewhere down the street. A car door slams. Normal Tuesday night sounds in our suburban bubble. I sit in the gathering dark, watching my breath fog in the cooling air. She'll come home around 11, I figure. Slip into bed beside me, smelling like wine and lies. She'll whisper something about being tired, about the workshop running long. Maybe she'll even kiss my forehead like she used to. I'll pretend to be asleep. Let her settle into the false comfort of thinking she's fooled me again. And tomorrow, I'll start dismantling the life she thinks she's so cleverly living behind my back. I sit there until my feet go numb, already calculating. Before she became the woman who takes hotel selfies with influencers, Sarah was the girl who couldn't order pizza without rehearsing the conversation twice. Anxiety lived under her skin like a second skeleton. She'd pace our first apartment, practicing words for situations that might never happen. I was 28 when we met. Blue-collar background, community college degree in network administration. Worked my way up from help desk to systems architect through sheer stubborn competence. Nothing flashy, but steady, reliable. The kind of man who shows up when he says he will. She was performing at Moonbeams, a poetry bar downtown that smelled like clove cigarettes and unfulfilled dreams. Hole-in-the-wall place with mismatched furniture and a mic that cut out every third word. Her piece was about drowning in shallow water, how you can be surrounded by people and still feel like you're suffocating. Her voice trembled on every line. Afterward, she sat alone at the bar, picking at a grilled cheese she couldn't afford. I bought her a beer. She talked for 4 hours straight, words spilling out like water through a cracked dam. About her dreams of making it as a performance artist, her fears of never mattering to anyone, how she wanted to build something beautiful with her life but didn't know where to start. I fell for her then. Not just her beauty, though she was beautiful, all wild auburn curls and nervous energy, but for her hunger. The way she looked at me like I might have answers to questions she'd been asking her whole life. She moved in after 2 months. I gave her the walk-in closet, the side of the bed by the window. She covered my beige walls with poetry drafts and photos from open mics, turned my practical space into something that breathed. The first miscarriage happened 10 months later. She bled for days, curled on our second-hand couch while I held her and promised things would be different next time. The second one broke something deeper. She stopped writing for months, stopped talking. I'd come home to find her staring at the wall, lost in grief I couldn't touch. But I stayed, made her tea with honey, rubbed her back during crying fits that lasted hours, drove her to therapy appointments she didn't want to attend, held her hand through doctor visits that confirmed what we both suspected. Her body wasn't built for carrying children. "You could leave," she whispered one night, face pressed against my chest. "Find someone who can give you a family." "I want you," I said. "Just you." She started writing again slowly, little pieces about loss, about learning to live with empty spaces inside you. I helped her research performance opportunities, drove her to readings across the city, watched her rebuild herself word by word, stage by stage. When she landed her first paid gig, a corporate diversity event that paid $400, she hyperventilated in our kitchen. "This is it," she said, gripping my hand so tight her nails left marks. "This is how it starts. Everything changes now." I believed her. For years, I believed that what we had was partnership, that my steadiness balanced her chaos, that my love was the foundation she built her art on. I thought I was helping her become the person she was meant to be. Now I understand better. I wasn't her partner. I was her safety net, the reliable constant she could fall back on while she reached for something shinier. She didn't keep pieces of herself for me. She kept me for when the pieces fell apart. I gave her 8 years of my life, 8 years of quiet devotion, of showing up, of believing in her dreams even when she didn't believe in them herself. I thought I was investing in our future. Turns out I was just funding her betrayal. Marcus Chen, 2.3 million followers across platforms, verified on everything that matters, sells online courses about authentic connection and ethical intimacy for $399 a pop. His bio calls him a vulnerability strategist and conscious relationship architect. The irony burns like acid in my throat. She's screwing a man who makes money teaching people how to be honest. I dig deeper into her cloud storage. The password is still our anniversary date, September 14th. At least she's consistent in her carelessness. What I find makes my stomach turn to stone. Hotel receipts dating back 6 months. The Meridian downtown, the Westin by the airport, the boutique place on Morrison Street that charges $400 a night. Always the same pattern, Friday check-in, Saturday check-out. Always when she told me she was visiting her sister. Her sister lives in a studio apartment and works at Target. But I never questioned the luxury hotels Sarah described, the spa treatments, the expensive dinners. I thought her sister was treating her well. The message threads are worse than the receipts. Screenshots of our conversations where she mocks me to him. He's making dinner again. Thinks we're having a romantic night in. "Does he suspect anything?" he asks. Please. He still thinks I cry during intimacy because it's so meaningful. I'm just bored. "What's he like in bed?" he asks. Imagine missionary position had a baby with watching paint dry. I fake every single thing, every sound, every reaction. He has no idea. I screenshot everything, forward it to my personal email, cover my tracks, The audio files live in a folder labeled Writing Inspiration. 47 recordings. Some are her practicing new material, working through difficult passages. But others, I close my laptop before I can listen. Some things can't be unheard, but I save them all anyway. Marcus Chen, I learned from his website, specializes in helping couples redesign intimacy for the digital age. His testimonials feature before and after photos of supposedly transformed relationships. Beautiful people holding hands, gazing into each other's eyes with manufactured bliss. His upcoming book is titled The Authenticity Imperative: Living Your Truth in an Age of Deception. The preview chapter talks about the courage required to be genuinely yourself, no matter what others think. I read his blog posts about emotional honesty, his YouTube videos about building trust, his Instagram captions about the sacred nature of committed relationships. This man makes a living selling what he destroys. In her cloud, I find photos of our house she's shared with him. Pictures of me sleeping, mouth open, hair sticking up. The caption reads, "This is what settling looks like." Screenshots of my text messages to her, shared for his amusement. The one where I said I missed her while she was supposedly in Portland. The one where I worried about her driving in the rain. The one where I told her I loved her before a big presentation. She's turned my love into entertainment for their pillow talk. I think about the last 8 years. Every morning I brought her coffee in bed. Every night I listened to her workshop new material, offering feedback she claimed to value. Every small kindness I thought was building something precious between us. She was collecting material, turning my devotion into comedy for her real life. This isn't heartbreak anymore. This is data analysis. And I've got everything I need. Marcus has a keynote scheduled next month. Digital Intimacy in the Age of Connection at the Pacific Northwest Women's Empowerment Summit. 5,000 attendees. Live streamed to another 10,000. Sarah will be there. She mentioned it last week, how honored she felt to be invited as Marcus's artistic collaborator. How this could be her big break. Her big break. I bookmark his speaking schedule, start taking notes. Time to see how much authenticity Marcus and Sarah can handle. The summit. 3 days of workshops, panels, and keynotes at the Portland Convention Center. Sarah's been preparing for months, treating it like her personal coronation. Her breakthrough moment, she calls it. The night she steps onto a stage big enough for her dreams. She's scheduled to perform during the opening ceremony. 20 minutes of original material about reclaiming feminine power through vulnerable expression. Material she's been workshopping in our living room every night for weeks. Marcus thinks I should record the whole thing, she says over breakfast, scrolling through her phone. Upload it to my YouTube channel. This could change everything for me, Marcus thinks. The phrase that's infected every conversation we've had for months. I make the call that afternoon. Pacific Northwest Women's Empowerment Summit, Donor Relations. I'm a potential major sponsor, I explain. Technology executive interested in supporting feminist causes. Would it be possible to discuss partnership opportunities? Rebecca, the development coordinator, sounds like she's about to propose marriage through the phone. Major tech sponsorship? She can arrange a facilities tour, meet with the production team, see exactly how their magic happens. We're particularly proud of our AV setup, she gushes. State-of-the-art recording capabilities. We archive everything for participants who can't attend in person. Perfect. I take a personal day from work, drive to Portland, check into a hotel across from the convention center. Meet Rebecca at the main entrance, wearing my best suit and carrying a briefcase full of financial projections I'll never use. The tour takes 2 hours. 5,000 seats facing a massive stage with professional lighting rigs that cost more than my car. The control booth sits elevated at the back, glass-walled, filled with mixing boards and recording equipment that captures every whisper. Danny, the lead audio engineer, is a kid barely out of college with arms covered in band tattoos and the enthusiasm of someone who still loves his job. He walks me through the system: 32-channel digital mixer, wireless mic receivers, recording setup that captures everything in broadcast quality. We record automatically, he explains. Archive everything for the speakers. Most don't know that. They think they need to bring their own crew. Fascinating, I say. So you're capturing their entire performance? Everything. Sound checks, backstage chatter, the works, all digital, all stored in our server farm. I mention my background in network security. We talk shop for 30 minutes. By the end, Danny's treating me like his new best friend. Want to see the wireless patch bay? He asks. I could show you how we integrate external audio sources into the main system. I tell him I'd love that. An hour later, I understand their entire infrastructure. Frequency allocations, mixing protocols, archive systems, input hierarchies, the works. If someone wanted to add a custom intro for a performer, I ask casually, how would that work? Easy. We do it all the time. Speaker sends us the file, tells us when to cue it, makes for nice dramatic effect. I thank Danny for his expertise. Promise Rebecca I'll be in touch about sponsorship opportunities. Drive back to Seattle with my head full of technical specifications and a plan crystallizing like ice water in my veins. That evening, Sarah practices her set one more time. 20 minutes of material about authenticity and courage. About being true to yourself despite what others think. About the strength required to live honestly in a world that rewards deception. I sit in our living room watching her perform and open audio editing software on my laptop. Her own words, her own voice, her own lies about me, about us, about what she really thinks when the lights go down and the audience goes home. No fabrication required, no creative editing, just truth, finally getting its moment on stage. She wants to talk about authentic expression? Perfect. I'll give her the most authentic moment of her life. Summit morning arrives wrapped in November rain. Sarah spends 4 hours getting ready. Professional makeup artist, hairstylist who specializes in camera-ready looks, outfit carefully selected to project powerful yet approachable energy. Her red scarf, the signature piece she wears to every important performance, drapes perfectly around her shoulders. She practiced that casual loop in front of our bedroom mirror until it looked effortless. "How do I look?" she asks, spinning in our entryway. "Like you're about to get everything you deserve," I say. She kisses my cheek, leaving a lipstick mark I don't wipe away. "I'll probably be late tonight. Marcus is hosting a reception afterward. Networking opportunity I can't miss." "Of course he is," I say. "I'm sure you'll make the most of it." She grabs her garment bag and performance notes, checks her phone one final time. "Wish me luck?" "Break a leg," I tell her. "Really? Give them everything you've got." She drives away in the rental car, paid for with my credit card, toward what she thinks will be her greatest triumph. I watch her taillights disappear into Portland traffic. I wait exactly 30 minutes. Then I drive to the convention center. The parking garage is packed. Tour buses dropping off attendees in designer clothes. Local news vans setting up by the main entrance. Sarah's promotional photo smiles from banners flanking the doors. Her biggest platform finally here. I don't go inside. Instead, I park across the street at a coffee shop with good Wi-Fi and a clear sight line to the convention center's front entrance. Order black coffee and a muffin I won't eat. Open my laptop. The summit streams their major events live. 5,000 women in the audience, another 8,000 watching online. Sarah's about to have the biggest platform of her career. At 11:45, I text Danny from a burner phone. "Ready when you are." At noon, the opening ceremony begins. Rebecca takes the stage to welcome everyone, introduce the day's performers. 5 speakers sharing the bill, but Sarah's the featured artist, the one Marcus personally recommended. At 12:30, Marcus himself appears for his keynote introduction. 20 minutes about the power of authentic vulnerability, the courage required to live truthfully. The audience hangs on every word. He's polished, charismatic, absolutely magnetic. "And now," he says, his voice warm with apparent affection, I want to introduce someone who embodies everything we've discussed today. A woman who has turned her pain into art, her struggles into strength. Please welcome Sarah Mitchell. The applause washes over her like warm water as she takes the stage. She stands at the microphone, red scarf catching the stage lights, and smiles at her audience. Front section: literary community colleagues, writing workshop friends. Middle: Marcus's followers who came specifically to see his protege perform. Scattered throughout: industry professionals who could change her career trajectory. She begins her set. 20 minutes of carefully crafted vulnerability. Stories about overcoming fear, finding her voice, learning to live authentically despite societal pressure. The audience is with her completely. 15 minutes in, she transitions to her closing piece, the one about marriage, about how love means accepting someone completely, flaws and all, about the courage it takes to commit to another person's growth. Real love, she says into the microphone, her voice carrying to the back rows, isn't about perfection. It's about showing up. It's about choosing someone every single day, even when... The microphone crackles. Technical glitch, the audience assumes. Someone coughs. Then her voice fills the auditorium. Not from the stage, from the sound system. A recording, crystal clear. I fake every single thing, every sound, every reaction. He has no idea. Her face goes white. She steps back from the microphone like it might explode. The recording continues, her voice laughing, Marcus's voice responding, their hotel room conversations playing for 5,000 people and a live stream. Does he suspect anything? He asks. Please, he still thinks I cry during intimacy because it's so meaningful, SE answers. Gasps ripple through the auditorium. Someone's phone camera flash goes off. Then another. Then dozens. Sarah's literary friends sit frozen in the front section. The Marcus followers look confused, then horrified. Industry professionals start heading for the exits. What's he like in bed? He asks. Imagine missionary position had a baby with watching paint dry. Nervous laughter from somewhere in the middle section. Someone else shushes them angrily. Sarah tries to speak into the microphone, but her voice comes out as a broken whisper that the sound system amplifies. This isn't... I can explain. The recording plays for 6 more minutes. Every cruel word, every mocking laugh, every detail of their affair laid bare for everyone who ever believed her message about authentic living. When it finally stops, the silence is absolute. Sarah stands alone on stage, red scarf hanging loose around her shoulders, 5,000 pairs of eyes fixed on her like she's something they've never seen before. She tries again to speak. Someone hacked, this is out of context. But it isn't out of context. It's exactly what it sounds like. Her own words, unedited, finally reaching the audience she never intended them for. People in the back rows start pulling out phones, filming her breakdown in real time. The live stream chat explodes with comments too fast to read. Marcus has disappeared from the wings. Sarah gathers her scarf and runs off stage, heels clicking against the floor like gunshots in the silence. I close my laptop, finish my coffee, and drive home through the rain. Sarah tries calling me 23 times that first night. I let every call go to voicemail, delete them without listening. She comes home at 3 a.m., makeup streaked down her cheeks, red scarf crumpled in her fist. I pretend to be asleep when she crawls into bed beside me, her body shaking with what might be tears or rage. I know you're awake, she whispers. I don't respond. We need to talk about what happened today. Silence. Someone hacked my phone, played old recordings, out of context. You have to believe me. I roll over, back to her, and listen to her breathing grow ragged in the dark. She tries reaching me through mutual friends first. Jennifer calls, then Rachel, then David from her writing group. They all want to mediate, to help us work through this difficult time. They speak in the careful tones people use around explosives. I tell them all the same thing. Ask Sarah to explain. I'm sure she has a story ready. Marcus drops her within 48 hours. Deletes every photo, every mention, every trace of their artistic collaboration from his social media. Issues a statement about maintaining professional boundaries and focusing on healing work. His follower count actually increases. Sarah's day job, content coordinator for a nonprofit, places her on administrative leave pending review. The video clips from Portland spread faster than she can delete them. Someone edited a highlight reel. Performer gets exposed live at Women's Summit. 4.2 million views in 6 days. She becomes a cautionary tale, a meme. The woman who preached authenticity while living a lie. Her writing group quietly distances itself. Sudden schedule conflicts, unreturned emails, invitations that mysteriously get lost. Her social media followers evaporate like steam. Sponsors for her YouTube channel disappear overnight. I move out on a Thursday while she's at therapy. Pack only what I need, clothes, laptop, a few books that matter to me. Leave everything else. The furniture we bought together, the photos of our life, the shared history I no longer want to carry. My new apartment is smaller, quieter. 1 bedroom in a complex across town where no one knows my story. I buy a couch from Facebook Marketplace, a bed from IKEA. Nothing matches, but it's mine. Sarah tries one last desperate contact 6 months later. Shows up at my office building during lunch, waiting by my car in the parking garage. I made a mistake, she says when she sees me. A terrible mistake. But we can fix this. 8 years has to count for something. She looks smaller than I remember, thinner. Her hair is shorter now, controlled instead of wild, practical. I chose you, she continues, her voice breaking. In the end, I chose you. I unlock my car door. Don't look at her. No, you didn't. You chose yourself. You always chose yourself. Please, she says as I get in. Don't throw away 8 years over one mistake. One mistake? I start the engine. You documented every lie, saved every conversation, turned my love into entertainment for your affair. That's not one mistake. That's who you are. I drive away without looking back. A year later, I check her social media one final time. Her accounts are gone, deleted or deactivated, impossible to tell which. Her website displays a single line. Content no longer available. The woman who built her identity on words has finally found silence. I lean back in my desk chair, close my laptop, and look around my quiet apartment. No photos on the walls, no poetry drafts taped to the refrigerator, no trace of the life I thought I wanted. It's peaceful here, clean, honest. She wanted a stage big enough for her dreams. I gave her the spotlight she craved, the audience she'd always been performing for, and she burned in it. And so, we've reached the end of today's story. Was it what you expected, or did it take a twist you didn't see coming? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, and let's get a conversation going. If this story kept you hooked, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here or just haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to join our community. I bring you fresh, captivating stories every day, so click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.